We're back again for the second day in a row of boxing talk, boxing news. Now, just to get straight into this video, upon making my Anthony Joshua Daniel Dubois video yesterday, more news has come out surrounding the IBF title and what is going to be happening with the IBF title. Alexander Usyk has come out and stated that he's going to give Anthony Joshua and Daniel Dubois a little present. That present being the IBF belt. So now that the belt has been relinquished and now the belt is on the line for both fighters, I think that fight will be being heavily pushed. I think that fight will be a main focus to get done. So about an hour after I recorded, I went on my social media and this was there. Literally this morning, they've had a face-off outside of Wembley, so it's happening. It's happening. The IBF belt is on the line. Anthony Joshua will be three-time world champion once he's knocked out Daniel Dubois. Now, besides the Anthony Joshua versus Daniel Dubois fight, we have some other news to talk about regarding some fights. The main fight I want to be talking about today is Jack Caterall versus Regis Prograis. Now, obviously, we are past the dramas of Jack Caterall versus Josh Taylor due to Caterall winning the rematch by decision. I think a lot of attention has been brought to Jack Caterall for the wrong reasons. His career's been surrounded by controversy in the last few years. And now that those fights with Josh Taylor is over, now that that rivalry is over, now we can see him move on in his career and take bigger steps up towards his goals. Obviously, that being fighting for a world title, which he wrongfully got taken away from him in a way, because the first Jack Caterall-Josh Taylor fight, Jack Caterall won by a landslide, but got robbed. It was one of the worst robberies I've ever seen in the sport of boxing. So the actual official scorecards for that fight all went in Josh Taylor's favour. 113, 112, 114, 111, and 113, 112. They had that fight awfully close. But in reality, that fight was nowhere near close, okay? That fight was completely one-sided. It says here, the scorecards confirm that 2 of the 3 judges gave Taylor the final 2 rounds of the fight, despite an alarming total of just 6 punches landed from Taylor. Despite the controversy, Taylor refused to offer a rematch to his rival. Well, that didn't work out, did it? Because he got the rematch. I don't think there's any need for a rematch, Taylor said. I won in the second half of the fight. I took over and bossed him. I 100% believed I had done enough to win. It wasn't my best performance, and he caught me with some good shots. Here's a photo of the scorecards. Just take a good old look at those, all right? Now, here's a chart showing the total punches thrown and landed in each round. Look, from first glance, Taylor was the much more active fighter. Oh, this is a good stat, actually. Jack Caterall threw 525 punches. Josh Taylor threw 306. Jack Caterall landed 120 of those punches and 18 to the body, whereas Josh Taylor landed 73 of his punches. 258 jabs thrown, 267 power punches thrown, and 81 of those landing. I know it's all relative to the amount of punches thrown and the amount landed, but just watching that fight, it was the clearest one-sided battering I've ever seen. All of the titles were on the line for Jack Caterall, all of them. And of course, the judges sway in Josh Taylor's favour. Also, this card was thrown in Glasgow. Clear bias there from the judging, but this man actually had the bollocks to come back, fight him for a second time, beat him the second time, fairly. Although the scorecards in the second fight also did kind of look a little bit dodgy. They swayed more into Caterall's hands a little bit, but Caterall did win that fight by 2 or 3 rounds. Now, Jack Caterall's latest opponent, Regis Prograis, is someone who is very familiar with Josh Taylor. I will always back this statement, and I'll always back it myself. The fight between Josh Taylor and Regis Prograis is one of the best fights that I have ever watched live. An absolute war from start to finish. You do not get a fight as good as that, okay? And you will not for a long time. Now, this fight is one of those examples of an extremely close fight, but I think the judging was actually done perfectly on this. Taylor won a majority decision over him to win the IBF and the WBA Junior Welterweight title, the Muhammad Ali Trophy, and the Ring Magazine belt also. Now, upon losing to Josh Taylor, Prograis went on a 4-fight knockout streak, and then winning another fight by decision at the end, giving him the opportunity to fight for a title against Devin Haney. Unfortunately, this was a completely one-sided battering. Devin Haney won all of the rounds. All 3 of the judges' scorecards were 120, 107. Do I think this is a smart fight for Prograis? Not really. After suffering a complete battery and beating from Devin Haney, you want to go and fight Jack Caterall, the man who dismantled Josh Taylor in the first fight, beat him in the second fight. He dismantled a fighter who Regis Prograis struggled against and had a close decision with as well. Jack Caterall's hungry. Jack Caterall is going to be hungry. Jack Caterall needs to be in that world title picture since he was so unfairly robbed of his world title opportunities. In my opinion, Jack Caterall is absolutely unstoppable. Will Prograis be able to handle the power of Jack Caterall? Will Prograis be able to handle the non-stop aggressiveness from Jack Caterall? So I'm not so concerned about him being able to keep up with the pace of the fight, since he did have a 12-round war with Josh Taylor. That fight was also about 4 years ago. Regis Prograis is 4 years older. He is 35 years old now. I also talk about the hunger of Jack Caterall as well. Regis Prograis is going to also be very hungry. Regis Prograis, if he wins this bout, this will also put him in that world title picture. Let's not forget also that he is a 2-time world champion. Now, Prograis is a very fast fighter. He has very fast hand speed. He's a very big fighter in that weight division and has a very high fighting IQ. What I noticed against Josh Taylor is he was very patient and he times his shots perfectly. So both fighters are also southpaw, which I suppose doesn't benefit anyone in any way. But Jack Caterall also is a very unorthodox fighter. He switches stance during the fight. He switches stance a lot, actually. Whereas I don't think Prograis can do that, really. I've never seen Prograis do that. I didn't see him do it against Josh Taylor. Now, both fighters are also in similar places in their career. Now, both fighters are in very similar spots in their career. Regis Prograis being 29-2 and Jack Caterall being 29-1. I wouldn't say that either one of them is more experienced, but Regis Prograis has also been successful on the big stage. Jack Caterall did look absolutely unreal against Josh Taylor in their first fight and in the second one. Unfortunately, he just didn't come away with the world titles in the first one as well. So, both fighters can handle the pressure. Both fighters are incredibly intelligent. So who will come out on top? Look, Jack Caterall is a very awkward fighter, throwing punches from very awkward angles, very unorthodox angles, and I see Prograis struggling with this. But that being said, this personally is Caterall's toughest fight. With a pedigree like Prograis, you know, 2-time world champion, you could say that Josh Taylor was Caterall's toughest fight, but let's be real, Caterall made Josh Taylor look like an amateur. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, what you think is going to happen in that fight and who you think is going to win. Now, if you enjoyed today's videos, please hit those like and subscribe buttons and make sure to turn the notification bell on. Also, there will be a link in the description to my Amazon wishlist. Feel free to go on there if you want to. There is no pressure whatsoever to go on there. It's just, if you're feeling generous and you want to help out the channel, feel free, go ahead. You do not have to go on there, okay? You really do not have to go on there. Anyway, I've been a Not So Combat Specialist because I suck. Peace out, guys. Fuck Josh Taylor.